Hello! It's Andy again from the Egocast channel, and today I'm going to be looking at another ranting feminist video. Oh shit, let me get rid of my gum. You guys won't hear me chopping on that the whole video. So, yeah, I'm doing another ranting feminist video. It is not my intention to pick on the ranting feminist. I actually kind of like the ranting feminist. I don't agree with just about everything she says. But, I don't know, she's got kind of like a personality that I kind of dig. I don't know. So, I was kind of watching through her videos one night, and I saw this one, and I thought that it would be good timing to do it right after the Eugenia video, because I addressed YouTubers' responsibility to what their subscribers do. And I said that Eugenia was over the line, so I'm going to be addressing the ranting feminist video she did about Bearing and his responsibility to his subscribers. Now there is a cute irony to this that I'm going to discuss at the end of the video. So and we're going to play a game in this video I came up with. So yeah, here we go. Let's just kick this off.
I'll be addressing in this video whether or not Bearing is responsible for the actions of his fans. Before I go into my opinions on things, I want to tell a little story from Australia involving the media and a man named Duncan Storer.
Now, we're not going to have that. I'll also kind of be giving some of what I consider to be my rules for how I'm going to handle videos. I am not going to compare one situation to another. The events of one situation, as far as I am concerned, do not have a direct correlation to the events of another situation. They just don't. People are different, situations are different, especially the situation in the example that she gives. She talks about a guy that gets hounded essentially by all of the press in Australia. Very different, extremely different. That is an extreme case. And this is not what we are starting this video to discuss. We're discussing the situation with Bearing, so we are going to stick to topic. And that is going to be one of my little rules. I am not going to give a shit about other examples that are off topic.
It is my belief that if you have a large platform, and while this is on a smaller scale than what the Australian did, of course, you have to be careful who you may appear to target in your videos because of the knowledge that if you say something bad about any particular person, it's inevitable that person will be harassed.
Now, I would say that if you're going to get on any sort of platform whatsoever that is public, and you're going to give your opinions, it is going to be a great likelihood that somebody somewhere along the line is going to disagree with you, and you are probably not going to be harassed. Because seriously, every time you say anything about anything, you're giving your opinion, and people are very rarely harassed for it. But if you're going to get on a platform like YouTube, and you're not going to educate yourself as to what you're getting into, that isn't the fault of a creator that might oppose your views. Your ignorance is not mean that the other person needs to look out for your well-being.
Some others on YouTube have called him out for this, suggesting that he doesn't link to the original videos or something along those lines, though some of the people Bearing talks about I suggest he not even bother addressing because he has such a large platform that that small YouTube channel is just going to be completely overwhelmed by even the smallest portion of his channel.
And it's a good thing that really, all in all, only the smallest portion of his channel is going to give a shit enough to actually go to another person's page and fuck with them. Not everybody is doing this. You can't say that because he has over 400,000 subscribers that all 400,000 of them are going to go and attack this other person. That doesn't happen. That's why these videos wind up with a couple of thousand dislikes instead of a couple of 100,000 dislikes. They're not all fanatics, but you're gonna have fanatics.
This brings me to my second point. A young feminist uploading a video to YouTube may not expect to have any attention drawn to their video.
Now see, I don't expect to have any attention drawn to my videos, but I hope for it. So if you're getting on YouTube putting up videos that you're just hoping that your circle of friends is going to see, there are ways to limit it to where your circle of friends are the only ones who are going to see them. And if you make it public, that's on you. And it's on you to understand that there's going to be backlash from that. I mean, I uploaded this. I feel like it's time to part. But you see, and somebody somewhere is probably going to see that and be like, ah, tubby tits, look at him dance. I know it's going to happen. I understood what I was doing when I put that up. I knew full well. I can't claim ignorance on that and then blame other people because, well, I didn't think anybody'd look at it. I just made it public.
I'll also add that there's a large portion of people who don't even know what anti-feminism is or anything about it.
That's because they're listening to the same people over and over and over again, and that's the only side of the argument that they are being exposed to. So I think it's a good thing when they make these kind of videos. Might educate them up a little bit.
Young feminists who upload their feminism videos to YouTube where they basically say the sort of pop feminist statements aren't really people who are deserving of the amounts of attention that YouTubers like Bearing and Undoomed will bring.
Oh, me victimization. Oh, it's not my fault that I'm repeating horse shit and lies. Come on. At least be willing to say that somebody should research the topics that they're going to be taking themselves public with. Come on. It's not my fault because I didn't think it was gonna happen. A lot of people don't think shit's gonna happen, but shit fucking happens, and when it happens, it happens. Shit happens all the time to everybody.
Yes, a lot of these feminists may do what many people have done over the years and oversimplify statistics such as 1 in 3, or 1 in 5.
Or completely and utterly fabricate statistics, thereby disseminating more false information and making more stupid people that listen to the same bullshit rhetoric. And this shit needs to be stamped out fast before it worms its way into your system and it becomes an ideology that you cannot look at anymore and you join the cult of feminism.
But I believe it is better to target the origins of these beliefs, rather than a young, unsuspecting person on YouTube who is simply just parroting what they've already heard other people saying.
And I believe that it's important to destroy lies and hypocrisy wherever you find them. I don't discriminate against people who talk bullshit. You are all a target to me. I don't care who you are. Doesn't make a difference. If you're going to spout lies, most of these feminism videos, especially the ones made by these young teenage girls, they are all, I'm going to teach you about feminism. I'm going to teach you about rape culture. I'm going to teach you about this. And then they proceed to give their opinions about these subjects. That's not teaching anything. That's informing people of what you think. But no. And when they get on and give these statistics that are bullshit lies, that started as bullshit lies, that have been thoroughly debunked, they need to be called out for it. They need to understand that what they're doing is harmful to their ultimate agenda.
Now, for clarification's sake, I'm well aware that Bearing doesn't exclusively target young unsuspecting people on YouTube, as he selected videos about Clementine Ford to talk about, as well as people with a larger platform, TED Talks, that kind of thing, so I'm not suggesting that he exclusively targets smaller YouTubers.
Well, I'm glad that we're not trying to put any words in his mouth.
But my issue isn't the exclusivity or not.
It's that it happens at all. People disagreed with me. Oh, me victimization!
In the content itself, and basically it's also not an issue with the content he creates. It's not necessarily what he's saying, but rather who he selects to talk about, because I think that you need to be careful because you do have a certain level of influence and some degree of power and sway as somebody with a large fan base.
You do. You have some degree. You can put in your comment section that you are not talking about these people with the intent of having your followers go and fuck with them, which Bering does. You can say in your videos, whenever these sorts of things come up, you can address them and say, look, I don't want you to do that sort of thing, which I've seen Bering do. So what else can he do? He cannot control all of the people that subscribe to him. 400-some thousand people. He can't force them all to do anything. He can't force them to do anything. What can he force them to do? What can he do to stop this from happening? Even if he makes an hour-long video where he describes how horrible fucking it is to do that kind of thing, people are still going to do it. You're always going to have fanatics. What are you suggesting?
And you do have to take that into account. I also think that he likes to play dumb about a few things that he's done in the past where, I mean, I think it's a bit absurd to play dumb about it. Like,
okay, the example she gives here is just crazy.
Whether or not you agree with Michael's politics, he did a video about Michael. Whether or not that was justified is up to you. But in this video, in the description, I noticed that he included the lists of Michael's friends.
I hope nobody sent them cockpicks.
And their Twitter accounts.
Well, I would say that that's fair. I mean, yeah, come on. I just hope that they didn't send them a whole bunch of cockpicks. I mean, that would just be horrible.
And I don't see any other reason to include that other than you wanting your audience to go tweet at this person.
Well, now, I would imagine that there is some reason that he would do that. There's got to be some reason that he would do that. Were they not involved at all? Not in any way? Not even commenting on Twitter? They were just completely and utterly innocent bystanders? I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what happened then. I have no idea what she's talking about. She doesn't give enough context for you to understand what the situation was, so. But I would say that from watching Bering's videos and seeing the actions that he has performed over the time that I have been watching him, I would say that I would find it difficult to believe that he would do that completely and utterly out of the blue without some sort of rational, to him at the very least, reason. Come on.
So, for you to play dumb as to what your audience is doing or to pretend that it has nothing to do with you, when you'll go so actively out of your way as to collect all the Twitter accounts of various friends of Michael's and include them in the description, whether or not your beef with Michael is justified or not, I don't really want to get into all that.
Yeah, let's not get into the fact as to whether or not Michael deserved what he got, because why would we want to talk about that?
But you can't play dumb on one hand about what effect your channel has on others, while also including the Twitter accounts of somebody you've got beef with, and then implying you have nothing to do with whatever results from that.
I wouldn't say that he... I mean... What did he have to do with it? He put their Twitter feed link up. He didn't tell people to go... You haven't said that he actively told people to go and fuck with him. So I would say that it's the individual's choice to choose whether or not they wanted to go and fuck with him. That's not his fault. I mean, come on. That's not his fault.
Because you chose to include those things. It's not a coincidence that they were there. I also want to add that it had nothing to do with the video itself or your beef with Michael.
Well, again, like, that sounds an awful lot like your opinion. What? On what grounds did they not have anything to do with the beef between Bering and Michael? You don't list that, so I don't know what to believe. You're confusing me again.
So anyway, I do not believe that Bering is himself the one leaving abusive comments or obnoxious comments demanding a debate from smaller feminists, but I do believe he has a role in it, and that him ignoring his role is just childish.
I mean, childish, come on. Saying that you hope they don't send him cockpicks, that's a little childish, and he didn't do that. But, like, come on. He's not ignoring the fact. He's a smart enough man to understand that if he puts the links to their Twitter feeds down, that somebody might go and say something to him. I would say that it's extremely ignorant to say that you think that he is just doing this because he's so dumb that he doesn't realize what's going on. Come on. Childish.
And he's deluding himself.
Deluding himself? Really? Deluding himself? I wouldn't call that a delusion. Man, he's pulling these big words out.
I don't think Bering's a pure evil guy, but I think he has downplayed his role in the harassment and that of smaller channels because he doesn't want to accept the reality of the situation.
I would say that he accepts full responsibility for his involvement. Just because you don't see the irony or the sarcasm whenever he says, or, whenever he does that sort of thing, like listing, other people that are part of Michael's little clique in his video. I mean, just because you don't get that doesn't mean that other people don't.
As somebody with such a large platform, he does have a certain degree of responsibility of what happens to his fan base, what happens when his fan base goes to a video.
Well, how is he supposed to know that anybody in his fan base is going to go to a video? There isn't anything, there's no law written that this much of your fan base is guaranteed to go to other people's videos. How is he supposed to know anybody's gonna give a shit enough? This is nonsensical.
I've seen a larger YouTuber who is much larger than Bering or I.
And again, off topic. Don't care. Don't care what another larger YouTuber says. We're talking about Bering and your ideas on the subject of which we're speaking. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're talking about.
Now, if Bering talks about me, I don't care because I came into this expecting this kind of animosity.
Well, aren't you just amazingly educated on what you wanted to do? It's a shame that everybody else can't be that way.
I went into this being quite antagonistic towards the anti-feminist side. I've made a video directly addressing him, so I completely get it if he makes a response video to me, because I'm expecting that. I'm somebody on YouTube who can handle themselves.
And I think it's wrong of you to assume that anybody else on YouTube can't. That just sounds sexist to me.
I'm not some young girl who mostly makes unrelated videos to feminism, but then on this one occasion decided to one day.
And on this one occasion, this one day, he probably got a whole lot of shit on that one video. But I would say that somebody who's going to care enough to take the time and effort to go through every single one of somebody's videos and fuck with them on it, that is extraordinarily low. You get maybe, out of Bering's audience, you get maybe 3 at most. Maybe? That might even be overestimating by 2. So, it's not like, you made one shitty video and the world reacted. You made it public and the world saw it and the world didn't like it. So now you know better. So you can either educate yourself on the subject that you wanted to talk about, and you can sharpen your arguments and fight back if you really believe in your cause, or you can go, holy shit, maybe that was a bad fucking video to make. Maybe I'll just stick with the stuff that I usually do, and maybe I'll just keep my feminism opinions to myself and not on a public format like YouTube that is worldwide.
Like some people he targeted, I looked at their regular content and most of it's got nothing to do with feminism.
Then they shouldn't have to worry about one video that comes off really fucking bad. Because clearly the people that are going to it and not liking it aren't her base to begin with. So these were never people that she was going to probably have as subscribers at all. So what difference does it make to her? She takes the video down, her page goes back to normal. all of it goes away. All of it. In a big poof of dust. It just all goes away. And she can also privatize it and make it to where only certain people can see it. All the people that are going to create a safe area on her page. So that she can just hear all the warm echoes of her fucking voice spinning around the room. There are options. Real, tangible, worked into the process options. It's not anybody's fault that somebody's not taking advantage of those.
They just, on this one occasion, made a video about feminism which he targeted.
And then she learned a valuable lesson.
And that's the other issue I have, is that these people he makes videos on, some of them aren't even really that hardcore into feminism. They're just people who one day decided to make a video about it and weren't really expecting any backlash.
And they learned a valuable life lesson that if you go into public formats and you say things, people might disagree with you and they might decide they want to tell you about it.
I myself expect the backlash. I can handle myself. I don't care if people dislike my videos or leave mean comments because I expect it.
Man, you are just fucking strong woman, aren't you?
What I don't like is that a lot of these people that he makes videos about don't know what's coming for them.
But that isn't his fault. If you go into Pennsylvania from Ohio, you see nothing but signs for miles that say ignorance of the traffic laws is not as an excuse for breaking them. Ignorance of the rules of life in public format situations is not an excuse for, oh, please don't attack me. And, I mean, it's silly to say that, you know, she didn't expect that she was going to get a whole lot of backlash. Well, Bearing didn't expect that his people were going to get so fired up about her video that they were going to go and give her backlash. There you go. Same argument. Anytime your argument can be argued both ways to a standstill, then it's a silly argument.
And often they're not the people who are interested in having debates and discussions about this kind of stuff, and
because they want to be told that they're right. They're not interested in arguments and debates because they just want to be fired up by other people who believe the same thing that they do. And I'm sorry, not everybody in the world is always going to be that for you. Welcome to the reality of life.
I think it's unfair to sort of put someone in that situation where they've got hundreds of people wanting to debate them when they didn't expect that. And
well, maybe they should pay attention to what some of those people that want to debate them are saying. I mean, you're gonna have the shitheads, you know, you should fucking die, cunt, and I say that I don't like those kind of peoples, and I don't want those kind of people representing me. Bearing has said the same thing too. It's more of a educate these people if you run into them. If you think that you have something that you can say to them that might make them go, holy shit, maybe I've been looking at this wrong, then by all means go and say it to them. But don't just, you should die, cunt, because that doesn't solve any problems. And at the end of the day, I personally, at the very least, am not here to just fucking do that. I'm here to educate these people into a way of rational thought and logical thinking. So that's my, 25 cents on it, or whatever.
As I said, even a small portion of Bearing's fan base is enough to overwhelm a small YouTuber.
But that's not Bearing's fault. And only a small portion are going to do it anyways. And they're not going to listen to him no matter what he says. Because they want to do it to be trolls or whatever. You're just going to have that. Don't put inflammatory ideas out on YouTube. Especially if you don't understand that they might be inflammatory. Learn about your subjects before you decide to go public with your opinions on them. Is that too much to ask?
If a small YouTuber with under 100 subscribers gets on YouTube, they're not going to expect to suddenly have 2,000 people disagreeing and disliking their videos and all this kind of stuff. And that can be a bit overwhelming. Okay,
now see, this is one of the reasons why I chose this specific video to use to discuss this topic. I am a very small YouTuber. Before I started making response videos, I had 19 subscribers. Now that I've been making these response videos and I've been getting more active in conversations with people in comment sections and whatnot, I've been commenting more in comment sections. My subscribership has blown up to a massive whopping 34. I don't show my subscriber count because honestly I don't believe that it should matter. Someday I might decide that I'm proud of my subscribers count and decide that that's a good reason to show it. But honestly, as of right now, I don't really... I mean, somebody actually sent me a message that said, how many subscribers do you have? And I fired back, why does that matter? And they have yet to respond to that. So either it mattered because they wanted to say, you have so many subscribers, or they wanted to say, you only have so many subscribers, why the fuck should I listen to you? So, to hell with you. If you want to judge me on my subscriber count, you're going to have to fucking watch my videos and figure out where it is in them that I tell you that what it is. Because I'm just not going to play that game. If you're going to do this, your subscriber count, then you're just never going to know how many subscribers I have. I'm going to be a stealth missile.
And I know from experience on YouTube that a lot of people don't look at the comments and say, wait a moment, has this already been said? Do I need to say it? No. They just basically keep piling on the criticism. And
the reason why they do this, and the reason why anybody comments in the comment section, is because they are so into their idea of what they have to say. They have come up with something that they think is so awesome and creative, and whatever it is to say that works into their mind where they're like, this has to be shared with the world. They are so into themselves at that point that they don't give a fuck if somebody else has already said it. They hope that somebody else hasn't already said it, but they're going to be fucking damn sure to have been one of the people who said it. Because they just want to have their fucking little avatar with their little name that they've given themselves, with their little idea that they had that they wanted to share with the world. They don't give a fuck what anybody else has said. Nobody does.
For somebody who has a really, really small platform, if all you're hearing is negativity about your content, it could hurt somebody.
Now, see, again, we're doing this thing where we're doing this min-max, where you know, oh, I'm a victimization. I only did one video of this. Why are you picking on me? I just did this one little video. Don't do that to me. And then it becomes this, they're going to get attacked over their whole content of everything. And I really don't think that shit happens. I think it's very few people that are shitheady enough that they're going to go through and fuck with multiple videos on somebody's channel if they've only ever done one video. I've looked up people to find videos to comment on, and I've gone to their page, and one of the first things I do whenever I go to somebody's page is I hit videos, and I look at all of their last uploads. And if they have one or two videos, I'm like, well, I'll just wait until they, you know, put out something fresh and new about it, and then I can tear apart that one video and move on to other people. But I know someday they're going to do it. So you sit right back here, right back on the brim of my hat, and I wait for it. That's how I'm doing this. So... But I'm not going to go through and critique their entire channel on everything that they do. Why would I bother? Why would anybody bother to give a shit to do that? And if somebody sees that a large influx of people not liking their shit has come in because of one specific video, then they can link it directly to that one specific video, and they can choose to handle it in many different ways. Take it down, make it private, whatever. Do whatever it is you want to do. If you stick your waters, or if you put your foot in infested water and you find out that it's not a good idea, you take your fucking foot out. Well, some people just decide to dive in. You're one of those people that decided to dive in. But it's not my fault that somebody else didn't.
To feel that way, where they may feel like they're being picked on.
Oh, their feelings. Well, I feel like I'm being picked on every time I'm told that I'm a rapist. in some feminist video. I feel like I'm being picked on every time that I'm told I'm a misogynist or a racist or a homophobe every time I see one of these videos for no reason other than the color of my skin. It's despicable, some of these videos. And these young girls get their heads filled with these crazy ideas, and they decide to go out and make public statements about it, and they cannot expect to not have any sort of backlash. That's just silly.
And this is my main point here, is that it's not necessarily what he says in his videos or anything like that, whether or not he links it, whether or not he doesn't.
So we establish here that all that shit's okay. I just want to make sure that that is known.
But who he selects to talk about. Now, somebody like myself, I understand him talking about, as I said, because I came into this knowing to expect a lot of anti-feminists on YouTube.
Okay, now it's starting to feel like you're trying to convince yourself. This is the third time you've made this kind of a comment. We know. You're empowered. Right on.
And I have a few anti-feminists who watch my videos regularly and regularly criticize them, and I'm open to that.
Now, this is the second reason why I chose this specific video by this specific YouTuber. Because this is the second time that I have made a video featuring bearing. Now, that's true, but this is the second time that I have done a ranting feminist video. The last one I did, I linked to her video. I said, I said I believe I was very honest, and I believe that I crushed your points. And she fired back on my video this huge long list that made me understand that she actually watched the video, and I thought that was very cool of her. And the fact that she fired back a response, which I then responded to, which she has not responded to my response, which is fine. I didn't expect a long, drawn-out argument. But, she said her piece, I felt I said my piece. So I feel fairly safe that it's entirely possible I might get another comment out of her if she finds out about this video. So yeah, and I do, like I said, I do kind of like the way she goes about things. It's kind of funny. It's pretty basic. I mean, it's nothing really creative. They're all the same arguments that you would expect anybody to give on this topic. Nothing was really mind-blowing in this video. So I thought it was pretty basic to be able to say, I'm not doing this video about the ranting feminist. I'm doing this video about the topic that she's talking about. I want to make that clear because I don't want to be said that, oh, you're picking on her. No, I've done 2 videos that she's done, and technically this one you could say is more about bearing than anything else because I have kept on topic. Believe me, there was a lot of things to work with the stuff that I cut out. A lot of things to work with. A lot of things I could have said. A lot of, directions I could have pulled it. But I didn't, because staying on topic, because this video more about this situation with bearing than anything else. More about the responsibility of a creator to his subscribers.
I'm open to a discussion about that.
And that's another thing. She's open to discussions. So this will play in more at the end when we get to the game that I want to play. But I'm setting up the scenario.
But these small YouTubers who just parrot what they've heard other feminists of larger platforms say,
they need to be stopped from continuing to disseminate that bullshit.
I think it's a bit silly going after them, and instead you should dispute the statistics with the people who are misinterpreting them in the first place.
See, I really like attacking evil in all of its forms. I really think that taking out lies wherever you find them, that's the way to go. You don't just attack the people at the source and let everybody underneath them just continue to run around willy-nilly lying to people. That's just crazy. No. Everybody gets to be told they're a liar when they're lying. Sorry. That's just, that is, I think, fundamental to our life in a society.
And not some random little YouTuber.
And like I said, so I am just some random little YouTuber. Like I said, 34 followers, 34 subscribers. That's it. But I've, like, and honestly, that I don't even really have, because I can trace back maybe at least 10 of those or more that are people that I know personally, friends and family and whatnot, and friends of friends and family members of friends and shit like that. So really I only have maybe 20 subscribers. And honestly, maybe another 5 or 6 of those are people that it was like, hey, saw your video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll subscribe to your channel. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I subscribe to their channel, and nothing happens from it. You know, whatever. So really, I have maybe 10 people that are actual strangers that have seen my videos and were genuinely interested in my videos for whatever reason, and subscribed to my video because they were, to my channel, because they were interested in the videos that I made. And of those people, I have actually, in one manner or another, had a one-on-one interaction with at least half of those people. So a good 5 people, I have some basis with which to judge them on their character. Which isn't much, but I at least have something with them. So I want to play a little game, I want to have a little experiment. And I don't think Ranting Feminist is going to really give a shit, because she has got a lot more subscribers than I do. And there's nothing that my little 10 people, even if every single one of them were fanatics, they ain't going to do no harm to her. But I just want to see, I'm not going to post this video as an actual response to her video, because I want to play this game. And this is another reason why I'm doing this at the end, because I want to see if people actually watch all the fucking way to the end. But yeah, so I want to see how long it takes for one of you guys, one of you minions of mine, I want to see how long it takes for one of you guys to give enough of a shit about this video being made that you draw her attention to it, and I want to see if she actually will comment on it. So Ranting Feminist, if you're seeing this now, that's the reason why somebody said something to it, because I told them to do it. But don't say anything fucked up. Don't be assholes. This isn't funny for like a joke. Like, the problem that I have with people that get on other people's channels and they decide that they want to fuck with somebody's video, the problem I have therein is this. It's that I did it for you mentality. You know what I mean? Like, I did this fucking thing that if I was actually a real fan, then I would know better than to do this. But I did it for you, man. They're looking for some sort of recognition or another. Or they're just flat out being fucking trolls. I mean, that is still always a very valid option. They might just flat out be fucking with you just because they're assholes and that's what they want to do. That's how they get their kicks. For whatever reason, human suffering is a fun thing for them. I don't understand it either. But I want people to debate intellectually. I like the idea of that. I like the idea of learning. I'm an intellectual. I like learning shit. And I love when people want to debate with me. And Ranting Feminist has done this in the past. So I think that she might, out of all of the feminist YouTubers that I've seen, she might be the one most likely to get that this is kind of a little social experiment I'm playing with myself. I imagine she's probably not going to be thrilled with it, because I'm commenting on a video where she says that it's a fucked up thing to tell people to go to somebody's video and comment, and I'm doing exactly that. So I do address the fact that this is very hypocritical, but I couldn't resist because of the fact of the topic. But I just want for somebody to just, in some way, send her an extremely polite, I saw this video, he was commenting on your video, you should check this out, or whatever, something nice. You know, or if you want to enter into an intellectual debate with her, she's got a very interesting way of doing it. It was very fun talking to her when I did. Or at least getting a response. I mean, talking to her, didn't happen. She responded and then I responded back. Whatever. But nevertheless, it was interesting that she responded to me. I thought that was very cool to actually get a response from a creator. It's like sending a tweet to Angelina Jolie and her actually saying something back to you. You know, it's I mean, that's a very different thing, but nevertheless, I'm watching you on my TV, so you're somebody on TV, so I'm conversing in some manner with somebody on TV, and I thought that was very interesting that you actually took the time to make a comment back. So I'm hoping that you receive this in the spirit that it is given. I hope that there isn't somebody that decides they want to be funny and be an asshole about this. I hope that didn't happen. And I will say that if you so choose to ask me to do so, or if I just so choose after a certain point, if I think it becomes appropriate to do so, I will take this video down, or I will edit this part of it out where I'm saying, hey, let's play a game and let's see if we can get Ranting Feminist to comment back because of my subscribers. But I just want to see if 34 people is enough. I want to see if I have a zealot. I'm fishing for my zealots. I want to see where they are. I want to know them. I want to know who they are so that I can try to direct them. I want to see who my zealots are. So if you're one of my zealots, if you're one of my minions, then please be nice and tell Ranting Feminist about this video. And I want to see if she comments back, because I think that will be interesting. Have a good day. Bye-bye.